A great crowd today, so I want to thank our fans for coming out. I know it's cold outside. I'm looking forward to getting home and turning the fireplace on myself. Second thing, I thought East Carolina played really hard today. They're really active in their zone. They're an athletic team. They converged on our big guys as much as they could in the paint, and they were as competitive as far as the way how hard they played as any team we've played all year. Obviously, they maybe not have some of the guys or some of the depth or whatever, but their kids played really, really hard. So that forced us to compete, and because we couldn't make a shot early, it was hard to get away from them until we were able to put the ball in the basket with some consistency. Because they're a team averaging 80 a game in their last 5 coming in. So it's tough to get away from them unless you score, because you're not gonna shut them into the 40s. It's not gonna happen. They're too fast, too athletic, too many guys making shots. They come out and made 9 threes on us today. So they forced us to grind out to win, and I think at the end, it'd be, as much as I'd love to go out there and just make every shot and pull away early, probably makes you better in the end of the day that we had to dig in and get better to win this game. So
when Gary and Octavius are both playing like that, what's that do for defense? Does it open other things up for you?
Well, I think Octavius he played great in the first half. Gary played much better in the second half. And the way we were shooting the ball from the perimeter, we needed them. We had to get the ball in the basket with our big guys on the inside. But if you're going to score 75, guys got to put the ball in the basket. So we have 5 guys in double figures, and that's obviously without Shaq playing. Which, in a game like this, it gets up and down a little bit. I think would have been a good game for him.
It's also without Cobb scoring much.
Yeah, they're like, one thing, if you were, because you guys are courtside, their zone has got great height, and they played, like I said, they were active in their zone. They competed, they played hard. For us to get a shot, we had to really move the ball, move people, and then when we didn't knock them down, because they kept competing, they didn't make it easy for us. It wasn't like they were just letting us shoot. We had to work to get our shots. Farad struggles with size. It's hard for him to get them off at times, and I thought his confidence got rattled, which usually is not the case for him.
It seemed like your ball movement was pretty good.
Well, yeah, it was really good, but when you have great ball movement and you keep missing open shots, it can be frustrating at times. But Tay saved the day in the first half with his rebounding. It was unbelievable. It was Dennis Rodman out there in the first half.
What would you say is the difference between this team now and, say, 7 or 8 games ago?
Tough to say. I'd have to think about that. Tough to say.
When you've got back to Octavius and Gary, you see the rebounds and the points. They also had 8 assists between the two of them. That's something that else they can bring for you guys?
Look, everybody's got guys. I think stats can be misleading, because you say East Carolina had 4 guys in double figures, and they had guys. Right now all we're worried about is winning. Now, to win, guys got to put the ball in the basket. Other guys got to rebound. Guys got to assist. Got to play great defense. So we did what we had to do to win today, but we'll see what we do next Thursday. You're only as good as your next game. And the guys understand what time of year it is. And my message to them is, I can't score for you. Can't play for you. I told Gary Clark at halftime, why did you come here? And he said, well, I wanted to, because I wanted to play for you guys. Coaches, you guys recruited me. And I said, well, so you wanted to play basketball? Well, start playing basketball. Okay? Quit trying to blend in and start playing basketball. So you got to start. One thing about us, because we don't get the McDonald's All-Americans per se, is trying to inject confidence into some of our guys. Because we have nice guy syndrome. It's one thing why I think Kevin's so important to our team. Like I would tell you, since January 1st, he has been injecting and trying to impose his will on this team. Is because Kevin Johnson has got intestinal fortitude. He may miss a shot, he may turn the ball over now and then, but he competes as hard as anybody on this team every day in practice and every minute he is on the floor. He may make mistakes, but it's never for a lack of toughness. And that's what we need to win going forward. Those are the teams that are going to win. Like I can tell you this, so you're looking at teams, I watched Duke's 5 weeks ago, or whatever, 7 games ago. They're different because their young guys have learned how to compete. And that's what it is for us. It's you got to go be able to put the ball, whatever it is, get the rebound, me versus you, or flash in a high post, turn and make it, like Gary Clark, turn, put it in. But I will say this, and I'm out of here. Jacob Evans played really well, and I think one thing about him, he's got no fear. He had a big 3 in the corner for us. Guys are struggling to make shots. It's easy it's always. I grew up with some guys played football in the Big Ten, so I thought I was tough. My best friends played football in the Big Ten in high school. It's easy to be tough when you're hanging out with those guys. So it's easy to make a shot. It's hard for somebody to make the first one when you're struggling. And Jacob Evans, he made some big plays to get us going. So we're really proud of him. And one thing about him, he's starting to I got to keep him believing how good he is and who he can be. So I had Deion Dixon in the locker room. He never had that problem. I told him to tell the team.
I'm just continuing the way what I continued against UCF. And before the game, Coach Davis told me and Gary we should compete on the boards, and that's what we went out and did today.
Gary, you get tired of people telling you you're too nice?
Yeah. Especially when it's game time, when it's something talking like reflecting towards basketball. Because, I try to go out there and dominate night in and night out. So when I hear, oh, he's too nice, it's kind of like, well, what do you want me to do? Just go up and just nail someone or what?
You got to the point where maybe you'll stop feeling that, the way you play?
From everyone else probably, but not from the coaching staff. They'll keep saying it, keep being on me constantly. All you heard tonight was probably Coach Cronin yelling Gary every possession. Want me to do certain things harder and beating certain blockouts when he wanted me to notice when guys are wide open. Our guys are wide open to go ahead and try to get position on offensive blockout because a lot of teams scout report is to come block me and Tay out. So once we see our guys open, we should just go ahead and try to get the inside position. A lot of times we're just watching.
For both of you guys, you've won 6 out of your last 7 games now. What's changed? What's the difference between the way you're playing now and the way you're playing before this?
I would say turnovers in the second half, because usually down the stretch we'll go stretches without scoring. Like we'll stop the other team, but we won't score. We'll turn the ball over. So I think that we just starting to get more together on offense and making the right plays and not turning the ball over.
What do you think, Gary?
Yeah, I agree because early we would turn the ball over. We weren't consistent defensively. Giving up too many layups, letting guys shoot that can shoot. Like Tay said, we're playing way more together on both sides of the ball, and we're playing more consistent. 2 halves. Today we started off like it was kind of rocky, but we've been putting together 2 halves as a team in the last couple of games.
Is that something because of something the coaches have done or said to you, or is it just the way the team has evolved?
We probably it's probably we come together. We had a team discussion, and we talked about after earlier our losses, we would fall apart. The last 3 minutes of a game, and then some games we come out and jump on the team early and get up big, and we let them come back in. So as a team, we talked to each other. We had a discussion about we gotta come. It's from the player standpoint because coach can't come out and play for us. We as a team we had to come together and figure it out and put together 2 halves.
Were the coaches involved in that discussion or just the players?
Oh yeah, they yelled at us a lot, and then we kind of had to come together.
We had a team only meeting, a players only meeting.
Is that the one he's talking
Is that the one you talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah. It was just, I forgot what game it was. We had like a team, like a players-only meeting, no coaches allowed, and just talked about what we need to do on offense and defense, and from our leaders to step up more.
And when was that, do you remember? After which game?
Which game was it?
Was that after a loss, I guess?
Yeah, it was after loss. yeah.
Was it the Memphis loss, or was it before that?
I think it was before that.
Yeah. We had
Last
a,
loss before that.
Maybe.
yeah, I
maybe
think it was Temple, yeah.
Temple. Yeah.
You don't have those meetings after wins, do you?
You guys scored 24 points in the paint in the first half. What kind of adjustments did they make in the second half? Because it took a while before you got to get any points inside in the second half.
We were second half. They were a lot of the passes. I wasn't coming to them. You know, a lot of like they're bouncing to me in the high post, and someone would come in and deflected, and I just wasn't coming to the ball a lot. A lot of the possessions turned into turnovers or busted plays. So, you know, that we could have had probably like a big-to-big dump down or a spray out three, but later on in the half, I was able to catch it. We were passing it. Tay was diming them off to one another. So at first, you know, we just wasn't catching the ball.
So it was more of your guys' execution as opposed to what they were doing.
I know you can take these one game at a time, which is probably why you want to plan better, but you know what's coming up this week at Tulsa and home against UConn. Can you talk about what a big week this can be for you? Or you're not allowed to do that?
I mean, this coming up, this week can either make or break our season. So coming Monday, we're gonna come in ready to practice, ready to listen. We got to be all out when we play Tuesday. Thursday, we got to be all out Thursday. But from Monday to Wednesday, we just got to be all out, listen, watch extra film, and just stay together when it come game time.
We were in this position last year, you know, going to Tulsa and, you know, knowing that's the big game first is at Tulsa. You know, the other games they're behind in the back of our head, but the main focus is the preparation for this week leading up to Tulsa. So just starting Monday, getting out there in practice, really paying attention to, you know, teams and knowing what's at stake. You know, how we beat them here. You know, how ready they'll be once we go there.
How do you feel your offensive game has developed, not only from last season to this season, maybe especially over the last month where you really have started to turn it on?
Oh, I feel pretty good about it, but you know, our coaching staff and player teammates, they've always seen it and known I can do the things that I've been doing, but you know, Mr. Nice Guy, you know, so I've been really just being more aggressive offensively and just, you know, when I'm open, taking a shot, and coach is always yelling to be ready to score when we catch it.
Can you tell, being able to knock down those mid-range and longer jump shots, can you like tell how that's opened up the defense, and can you feel like more space now, you know, to do the other things?
Yeah, because, you know, when I do catch it, you know, everyone's kind of converging because I can pass down to Tay or Corey, and if they converge there, I can kick it out. So making that 5-man or whoever's in the middle come guard me makes the wings have to make a decision on whether to take away the layup